Grow Great is a city government leadership podcast with Lisa Norris and me, Randy Cantrell. Each week we share insights, experiences, and wisdom to help you and your leadership grow great. Our website is growgreat.com.
So Lisa, before we hit record, and I'm sitting here in the dark. I didn't turn these
literally
lights.
In the dark. I'm
Randy,
Randy, are you there?
I had a lamp on, so you could see my face, but the whole room was dark. So Lisa's making fun of me of being in a bat cave, and so I get up and I turn the lights on, and my wife Rhonda, we've been married for 47 years, and so I'm sitting in here, and it's about, I don't know, it's 10 till 7 or so, and Lisa and I were scheduled at 7:15, and so I've got the door open, and she never does this, but all of a sudden, the garbage disposal starts going, and it's just going and going and going. Who knows? She's putting half the kitchen down the sink. I don't know what she's doing, making all this racket. So Lisa and I she starts talking about Don doing certain things, and I'm talking about Rhonda doing certain things, and how Don and I evidently we both got ninjas.
You're kindred spirits.
Yeah, we've got ninja skills. You're gonna, if the wives are already in bed, we're gonna tippy-toe around and not make a sound, and they don't even know when we came to bed. But it doesn't work in the opposite. It's bull in a china closet. It's slamming doors and slamming drawers. And,
yanking the covers over so they, It's like they flip up in the bed.
Yeah. Yeah. So Lisa said, yeah, it's kind of fascinating how opposites can attract. Well, opposites in some things.
Yeah. Yeah. We thought it's always fun. It's funny because we get so many listeners when we call it pulling back the curtains. And just talking about personal, but we thought, what the heck, right? We have an extra 10 minutes in our morning before our meeting starts.
Yeah, what do we care?
Yeah, let's talk about that, because that everybody can relate to that. And I was laughing because as Randy's telling me the story, he's like, yeah, the first thing I do in the morning is I get up and I open all the blinds, and I went, yeah, now Don is, it's like our son-in-law is like, dude, are y'all in a bat cave? Because we keep lights off, windows drawn. And I love kind of peeking open. We have shades in our new property, and I kind of lift the shades up. And
is it for privacy? Is it for darkness or privacy or both?
I don't know.
Or do we know? We don't even know.
I don't know. But,
we don't even know
Don just likes the things closed, and he's like, babe, somebody might be looking in the window. I'm like, we are on 85 acres, bro.
Yeah, there might be a possum out there that's eyeballing you.
But it just goes into, it's funny, opposites attract. And like you said, Don, I never hear him. Last night he said, babe, I'll be to bed in 30 minutes. And I'm like, okay. I wake up this morning, there he is. And I'm like, how does he get into bed?
Yeah.
And I don't hear, now to my credit, I do wear earplugs because he snores. And I have those little patches over my eyes. I'm very attractive when I go to bed. It's a work of art, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm asleep, but I don't hear him. I don't feel him getting in the bed and pulling the covers over. And
yeah, he's ninja.
He is. Y'all are ninja-like skills. It's amazing. Yeah. It's impressive.
Yeah.
And so,
and if you're like Rhonda, you don't even want to be a ninja.
No, I'll open the door. The door slams closed because we're in a house that's got like an 8-inch drop in my mom's house, so everything, the balls roll down, the clothes fall off the things. I start blow drying my hair, and I'm like, it's hot. I'm going to leave the door open so I can get that cold air from the bedroom,
Yeah. Right. You just cannonball into bed.
Oh, I'm closing my makeup drawer and opening and closing the fridge. And
of course you are.
Don's like, and when I do dishes.
Totally inconsiderate.
No. Well, I'm not trying to be. I just don't quite think about it.
Exactly.
But when I'm doing dishes, Brandon and Carissa were over, and Brandon's like, Mom, good Lord, can you make any more?
Yeah. Rattling pans. Yeah.
He's like, you are the loudest dish doer of anybody I have ever known. I'm like, it just makes noise when you have to clink these things together. He goes, maybe you take thing one at a time and try not to slam it in the thing and slam it in the and knock the two porcelain bowls together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Randy, I don't know. Don, I never hear him doing the dishes. It's like I catch it like out of my ear. And I'm like, oh, babe, do you need help? He goes, got it. All done. And I'm like, oh, dang it.
Yeah, I don't know. My mom would have called it being sneaky. So I don't know.
That.
Maybe we learned to be. Maybe boys have grew up learning to be sneaky. I don't know. But I was, I wasn't mischievous or anything. I didn't get in trouble. But yeah, I'm just. First thing I'm going to do is make the bed, and the second thing I'm going to do is go open all the blinds. Because I do. I want light. Now I like sitting in dark. I've never. Any office I've ever had, they all have those overhead fluorescent lights. I've never used those. I've always had lamps because I just like a warmer. This, we're more illuminated because, you're illuminated because you got all those overhead lights.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm illuminated just
I
for
look
the
like
purpose.
An angel, Randy, if anybody's watching on the video.
Yeah, that halo.
We're much more entertaining in person, I think, than listening, but who knows?
Yeah, who knows is right.
It's funny because when Don and I'm surprised, frankly, he still tolerates me.
Y'all been married how long?
We've been married. We'll be 37 this year, so we're 10 behind you and Rhonda. So we were married in 88, and but it is so funny because we are so opposite. So he is the most thoughtful person in the world for me. Like he cooks extra meals at night, and so I can have that packed for lunch the next day to make sure I eat. He packs.
Now is he more sentimental than you, which isn't saying much because you're not sentimental at all.
I'm not sentimental at all. He's super sentimental.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I mean he's super sentimental. And talk about opposites attract. He is thoughtful. Like, he does everything. He's like, hey, I picked up your cleaners, and last night he goes, I took off all the plastic from all of your cleaners and threw it away. I could tell the way he was saying it. It was like 40 pieces in the field of black. He didn't say that, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, thank you, baby. And he goes, and when you go in the closet, straight back is the most recent stuff. Don't wear that again.
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
So he's just thinking of everything. He packs my snacks, and people are going to think, well, she is helpless. But he's just thoughtful. And I told him, when he goes to Oklahoma, he's like, I set up your coffee for tomorrow. I turned in your cleaners. I've got your breakfast stuff is made. It's in the fridge. The dishwasher's done. You only have to adult for 2 days by yourself.
He's a world-class assistant. That's what he is.
He is amazing, and he's free. So that's even better.
Exactly.
But I always tell him, I said, I'm so grateful for you. And Randy, now he'd probably dispute this. He might not. I am not that good at that. I'm just surprised. I'm like, baby, you do know I love you, right? And he goes, I know. Yeah, I know you love me. I'm like, because I don't think of any of this stuff for you.
Yeah. Well, so what do you bring?
What do I do for him?
Yeah. What do you bring to this relationship?
Show up on Friday in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I'm very nice.
I'm nice and I'm a lot of fun.
I make him laugh a lot. I forget a lot of things that he has to also follow up on that.
Yeah, there you go.
He says I'm very kind.
Yeah, of course you are. Yeah.
I just, what I tell him, Randy? I said, babe, if anything, I am entertainment value in this relationship. And he goes, yes, you are. Yeah, so there's that.
There
Randy.
you go. There you go. There you go. I bring the entertainment.
We'll have to bring Rhonda and Dawn on and just let them talk about us.
No, let's don't do that.
No. They probably are like, bro,
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you a couple of T-shirts.
Wouldn't that be funny?
I bring the entertainment.
We do need to get them on. I don't know if Rhonda will come on. Don will gladly come on, and I'm sure. I honestly. I just don't think he is just such a good soul. I don't think he says anything negative. Honestly, he had a lady named Misha at work at Broadwood. He was there for a long time, and we always called him. We always called her his work wife. Yeah, because it was so funny. He'd come home and goes, babe, somebody was looking at my legs today and said I had good legs, and I'm like. Well, who said? I mean, you have fantastic legs, but who? And he's like, yeah, Misha told him, knock it off. His wife is the best, and you better leave him alone. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
there's always
That's
there's always
awesome.
that. So opposites attract. I'm thankful he still loves me. I'm thankful he does all my adulting unless I absolutely am forced to. You value
Yeah.
that, and I'm thankful he loves me, man, because I'm something, Randy.
Yeah, well, aren't we all?
I'm
We
glad he
all?
picked me, but
Yeah,
oh goodness.
it's awesome.
Anyway,
Well,
yeah.
here's the one leadership lesson in all this, of opposites attract, because it's absolutely true. Our cohort that Lisa's in just yesterday, we were talking about how leaders, you need to have people on your staff that fill your gaps.
Yeah,
So you
for
don't
sure.
need to
Don't
surround
hire
yourself.
just like yourself.
No, you need to hire some people that have skills that you may not have and all that. So
And
works.
appreciate you for what you are. That's the bottom line. I think as leaders, if, like you said, if there's any lesson, we need to just value people for what they bring to the table and quit focusing on what they don't.
Yeah.
Because there is so much value and gifts in front of you that people have. You just have to recognize them and plug them in, right?
Yeah.
Plug them in for what they're great at.
Says the two people who have a whole lot of lack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
So let's not focus on that.
No.
All right.
Anyway.
Well, have a good day. Enjoy
Yeah.
your meetings. So
Okay.
it's off
All
to
right,
the races
guys.
for us. See
Yep.
y'all.
Bye.
Thanks for watching and listening to Grow Great, the City Government Leadership Podcast. Our website is growgreat.com. For Lisa Norris, I'm Randy Cantrell. We hope you'll subscribe to the show, and we hope you'll tell a friend.